were born before the wind, also younger than the sun. Yeah, the bonnie boat was one as we sail into the mystic. Hark now, hear the sailors cry. Smell the sea and feel the sky. Let your soul and spirit fly into the mystic.
Welcome again to our Halloween episode of 3. I'm here with Chris Gray, our master astrologer, Rainy Day, our psychic medium, and me, I'm your intuitive tarot consultant. And you can see that we're all donning our own little version of a witch hat right here. We've got our pumpkins on the table because tomorrow night is the 8th annual Night of the Witches, nightofthewitches.com. You want to see if the tickets are still available, but this is an amazing nonprofit event that benefits Help Us Southern Nevada. We do this every year, and you'll get to meet Chris and Rainey and myself at the event, take pictures with us, the costume contest, the prizes, and then, of course, the grand prize diamond from DNR House of Diamonds. So all of this is available to you on a night to remember. We have an amazing guest for you today. This is a gentleman that has been on TV many times. He's got over 1 million followers on all the social media platforms. He is an amazing performer here in Las Vegas, and I'm going to tell you who he is when we come right back.
Hi, my name is Edgar Alejandro. I'm the co-founder of Rising Again Productions. So we've been here in Vegas producing films for the past couple of years, and we've seen our fair share of studios. We've worked in our fair share of studios, and to be honest, WWDBTV has been our favorite by far. John is so welcoming. The space is wonderful. It's perfect for what we need. We've had rehearsals here. We've had callbacks here. We've had table reads here. So if you're a Vegas creative, or really just a creative coming into Vegas, definitely check out this space. Chat with John. I think you'll find that this studio has everything that you'll need as well.
And we're back, and I want you all to set your eyes on this amazing gentleman at the end of our table. This is Murray SawChuck. Murray is one of the best magicians in Las Vegas. You have hosted many shows and many venues here. You are absolutely out of this world with your talent. You've been on every major network talk show. You've been recognized in the community for your charity work. I remember you being at the Wedding Chamber of Commerce event last November, where a lot of local celebrities came together for all these people to get married. That was at Caesar's Palace,
Caesar's
right?
Palace,
Caesar's Palace.
They had, I think, wasn't it over 1,000 people or something ridiculous? 750 or 1,000, I think it was.
All these people that got married in one fell swoop.
That's right,
It was just crazy, and you were a part of that.
Yeah.
So you now have a show called, tell us about your show.
Yes, Murray's Misfits. It's a show that I've always had in my back pocket, and it really started with my buddy Joe Sanfilippo, who owns Bonkers Comedy Club. And he said, hey, Murray, I know you can't bring your show to my club because you're at the Laugh Factory.
Right.
Do you have anything else that we could do? Because I'd love to work with you. Because I'd always go on the road and do the odd date with his company, out of town. Yeah. And I said, actually, I've had this idea for a long time called Murray's Misfits. It's basically it's a variety show. It's not reinventing the wheel.
Right.
It's just a variety show. And even if you don't know who Murray is, it's a cute name. It's like Bob's Big Boy.
Yeah.
Who the hell, is he even a real dude? I don't know.
Yeah.
But so Murray's Misfits is just a cute name. You don't even need to know who I am. So we put this show together. It worked out really well. And we started putting on the road. We started doing festivals. We were doing the Milwaukee Pride Festival and a bunch of things this year. And then Centerfolds, which is now a cabaret, asked, hey, can we get the show for like 3 months? And I said, of course you can. So that's what we're doing. We have it right through to October.
And I understand that your absolutely gorgeous, beautiful wife is in the show.
Yeah, Danny.
She's very funny.
She's great. She's hilarious.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Everything. It's like you can tell that some of that's very improv.
Yeah. It is, yeah.
And she just rolls with it. I mean, the woman is not only beautiful and smart, but she's an amazing tap dancer when she needs to be.
Oh yeah, and she was in Vegas. She was in Jubilee. She was in the last Showgirl show ever here in Vegas. So she's a real showgirl.
Yeah.
And then she's also the lead dancer for ZZ Top, and She was the host of Crazy Girls, which is that show ran for over 30 years in the
Yeah.
Riviera to Plano Hills. So yeah, so she's very eclectic, and you got to stay. I think you always got to adapt in this business if you want to stay in it. You know.
Well, and the other thing too is that sometimes you see certain couples together and you go, gee, I don't get it. And then you see someone like you and your wife and you go, oh, I get it.
Yeah, it took me a few. I mean, it's, you know, I don't give up. So, you know,
Well, I was
definitely
going to say
trial and
that.
error. Me
Ariana
too.
Grande, thank you next.
Yes.
Take a number.
Yeah. So, but hey, I don't give up. So, you know.
All right. Well,
I don't give up.
we're
I love
here.
that.
We're here for you today.
Sure.
So we're just gonna vibe into you. So would you
Okay.
like to start with our astrologer, our medium, or me?
Let's start with the astrologer.
Okay.
Great.
All right, Chris. All about
Sure.
you.
Have
Go
you
for
ever
it.
had a chart read before?
I've never had a chart read.
Oh,
Okay.
this is
I don't
gonna
do
be
this
good.
stuff very often at all. My wife's really into this stuff. I'm a magician, so I make
Okay.
things pretend to happen.
Okay.
but, you know.
Hold on. Pin
Yeah.
that for a second.
Yeah.
I always crack up when people use the word this stuff.
Yes.
Okay. Now, and I also want to tell you that you are the first magician,
Mhm.
the first actual professional magician
Mhm.
that I've done a reading for, or
That's
I will be
exciting.
doing a reading
Yeah.
for. Because most magicians, because your claim to fame is deception.
100%.
So the last person in the world that you would really want to hang out with
Sure.
would be intuitive readers,
Of course.
because it goes against the magician promise that you made to the world, right?
Yeah,
In a
sure.
way, right?
Indirectly, yeah.
The
Right.
illusion.
The illusion.
Right, exactly.
It's lifting
Exactly.
the veil.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, so I just
Sure,
had
yeah.
to throw that in there. But
100%, yeah.
go ahead, Chris. Sorry to interrupt.
No,
Go for
you're
it.
great. Okay, so in astrology, the reason I asked for your time of birth is because it's very unique to you.
Yes.
Your date of birth, the location, and then also the exact time of birth. Because
Sure.
what it does is it is the very beginning of your entire natal chart. And so your natal chart is so specific to you because it is based upon your time of birth. And it talks about who you are. Like I look at different placements and it talks about like what makes you unique, what challenges, what opportunities you're going to have. And then also it's how we forecast current and future events.
Okay.
So you are Gemini rising. So if you were to read your horoscope,
Hmm.
I would recommend you read Gemini. It's going to
Really?
resonate very strongly with you. But Gemini, they're really good with their hands. And
Mhm.
so they talk with their hands. They do
Yeah.
a lot of things with their hands. They usually like to own like a lot of watches.
Okay.
And they like to adorn their wrists and
Mhm.
their hands with jewelry.
Yeah.
But extremely witty. So you're ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is the planet of communication, also mental facilities. So the way you process information, your communication style, it's very unique. And so it is very strong in your chart. So that tells me that you're highly intelligent, very witty. You're able to dissect information very quickly, but you also have this gift of gab, you know. And so you have a couple other placements I'm going to talk about. This one, right here, this is the, you have this stellium in your sixth house. And so a stellium is, I go by 3 or more placements. What it does is it talks about amplifying that energy in that house. And so the sixth house is naturally ruled by Virgo. And Virgo is the of service. You know, they're the service worker. And so when you have the stellium in this sixth house that's ruled by Virgo, it tells me that you're one of those people that you like to serve people.
Mhm.
But sometimes it's almost kind of like shackles because you're so serving to people that it can actually kind of limit you.
Mhm.
So also too, this could be rules kind of your health. So usually when I see this is like nervous tension or any kind of digestive issues as it relates to stress. So I'm
Mhm.
going to recommend some really good stress management techniques if you don't already do that.
Okay.
And so I'm going to go up to here and your ninth house. Your ninth house rules foreign travel, higher learning. It also rules your beliefs in like religion, things like that. However, it can also rule second marriages.
Mhm.
And so you have Venus. Venus is ruled by, or Venus is the planet of beauty and love. And so I'm going to go by the interpretation that this probably represents your wife.
Mhm.
Whenever I see the Venus in that particular house, that tells me that she's very beautiful. And so when Mona touched on that and I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, she's definitely a looker. But it talks about also finding love abroad. So I don't know, maybe she's foreign, or maybe y'all fell in love, but maybe you took a trip, a long distance trip. But it talks about being finding love and really good, creating good memories as you travel abroad. And then I'm going to go up to your 10th house of career and also what you're known for, public reputation. And so you have lucky planet Jupiter. It's the luckiest planet in astrology, and it sits right on your MC, which is the very top of your chart. And it's the beginning of your 10th house of career and public reputation and what you're known for. And so you have a lot of opportunities that come to you. You've been very, very fortunate as it comes to your career. And it's like opportunities just kind of come to you and you're able to take advantage of them. And it's connected down to your 5th house. The 5th house rules your passion. This is also, it's ruled by the natural ruler of the 5th house is Leo. And this means that you're really good at self-expression, being original, following your passion. And so because that lucky Jupiter is positively aspected down to your 5th house, that means that when you get a lot of opportunities in your career because you're someone who can follow your passion. And so you put a lot of it's almost like you're very like determined and laser focused. Like you don't want to give up whenever you have an idea or you have something that you're passionate about.
Cool. That's great. That's wonderful. That's neat. There's a lot of information.
It is.
All right. Yeah. Do you want me next or Rainey next?
You can go next.
Okay. I've been waiting for this for years.
Okay.
Just saying. Okay, so what I do first is I cut the cards and I see what they cut to. And this is the card that says, make sure that whatever you do with your career, that you don't get bored with it, that you have to constantly reinvent yourself. So the card called Ordinariness is the 8 of Pentacles in traditional tarot. It means somebody very, very skilled at what they do. But I see you finding a way to take it to the next level that you don't get bored. So Murray's Misfits is the start of that, but I think it's going to lead to something even bigger down the road. So now I'm going to lay out my whole deck and I'm going to draw 5 cards. And these 5 cards are going to vibe into you as the most important thing you need to know. So there's some disruption here connected with money. There's a dark-haired, dark-eyed man here that might have promised you a gig or promised you money, and then you find out that this person doesn't have it or is struggling with it. Now, instead of making that a bad thing, what it's saying is that the more you decide to go with the flow of that and put it out as sort of a karmic favor, that if this man can't pay you what he promised to pay you, like in a lot of showrooms, for example, you get half the ticket sales. Let's just say that's how it works out. Well, it turns out that he might not be able to give you half of the ticket sales. So instead of you being the guy that gets all upset or pissed off about it, you're like, well, I've given my word to my fans that I'm going to be at a certain place for a certain time. So I'm going to keep that obligation. But you owe me. And you're going to basically say, you owe me. It's in writing that you owe me, because these cards are saying that there's something about to come around the corner for you, which is part of the dream of what you want to do. But this disruption, the way these cards are coming up, this is a happy disruption. So if it turns out that this fella that you might be working with can't pay you, and that's really what it would boil down to, there would be a lucky turn of events or disruption that allows you to go in a better direction. So instead of having to be obligated to this person, you actually get to leave and do this change in a big way, where you're taking your happiness seriously, you're celebrating, and there is a big change coming to you within the next 3 months that you didn't have to do it the hard way. So if you look at this card, and I don't know if John can zoom in on this card,
There's green now.
It's got green in it. Green, we got a green screen.
Oh,
so
it's moving.
So the courage card in this deck resonates to the strength card in traditional tarot. The courage card means you've already done all the hard work. You're already in the spotlight. This daisy grew between rocks, just enough moisture, nutrients, sunlight to grow right there. But if that daisy was in a field of daisies, you'd never see it. You'd never notice it, right? But because it grew there, you can't help but notice it. That's you. Because you've done it the hard way. You've done it the right way, all right? You can't help but be noticed. So what I'm wondering is this is you taking your happiness seriously and a card of celebration connected with it. It's happy disruption. The equivalent of this would be if Oprah called the three of us and said, we want you to be on our show. It would be that equivalent.
Sure.
It's happy disruption where you're going towards something that you've worked really hard for, and now you're being acknowledged for it. So I wonder if you might create a character for yourself that ends up on some sort of talk show, some sort of, you become a regular on a talk show where you can still do Murray's Misfits. You can still do your version of the show. But I'm almost wondering if maybe part of what happens with you moving forward is some of these more famous or more well-known people end up paying you to be on your show. That you actually end up having celebrity cameos that show up, and that starts being a big reputation for you moving forward, that you get found by other famous people. Something like that. Do you have any questions?
No, it's wonderful.
Okay. All right.
Dun, dun, dun.
All right, Rainey. All about you.
So Spirit never tells me anything that you're not ready for. And I kept seeing, had this epiphany.
I love that word.
So have you ever been in the Link Hotel dressing rooms?
Have I ever been in the Link Hotel dressing rooms?
I'm seeing the character Piff.
Oh,
And you guys like water repellent, like very jealous, a lot of problems, a lot of back talk, him causing a lot of problems for you. Would that be a fair statement? I'm outing him right now.
The diss with Piff?
Yeah, the diss with Piff.
Not really, actually. We're competitive because obviously we're on the same street with the show. But we've always been good with each other because our big bond is we love dog rescues and charities. So it always seems to, But no, we're not really that. We don't have much of a problem with that.
Believe it or not, there's. I'm sorry.
No,
There's a lot of under the table jealousy because of your success, and a lot of uses. Go ahead.
But I want to jump on what you said, and I'm wondering if you guys do a mock social media battle between the two of you. That the diss
The dragon
with Piff,
and the magician.
No,
Exactly.
the diss with Piff might actually be a made up
Battle
Yeah,
yes.
some made up beef.
Yeah, a made
all
up.
over Vegas.
Exactly.
But I mean, it's like, but the two of you would obviously collaborate
Sure.
on it. But it would
course.
be like doing pranks on each other.
Mhm.
What's the word? Candid Camera used to do these pranks.
Elephant, way back.
Yeah, but
And Punked.
Punked,
Punked.
Impractical Jokesters.
Yeah.
Like that.
yeah,
Sure.
practical joke. It's like the two of you actually collaborate and say, okay, so I was on this psychic show, and I'm not really, but I was on this psychic show, and they said maybe you and I should have a mock battle.
It starts in a dressing room.
Mhm.
All right,
I
sorry,
swear.
I don't mean to
No,
interrupt.
no, that
Okay.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Okay.
Pull in. Who is Eileen to you?
Eileen. There is an aunt that I have as Eileen.
Passed away?
Nope, still around.
She might be passing.
Mhm.
Is she not healthy?
She is healthy.
I want you to reach out to her. I want you to, are you a lot alike?
Maybe in a way,
Reach out to her. I think she would like to get to know you a little bit deeper. And I feel that there's 1 foot in, 1 foot out. Otherwise, Spirit would never show me that name. Your wife has followed you through all space and time. It's like she found you. Is that a fair statement?
Sure. Yeah.
It's almost like I see her like running and tackling you. Like, I'm here. Would you pay attention to me? Because you're always looking for your opportunities. You create your own opportunities. I see that you could be the octopus, but still control all of them. Do you not sleep very well?
I do sleep pretty well. Yeah.
Do you dream very vividly?
Not at all.
So I'm not picking up on you.
That's okay.
Mm.
But I still
Go
want
ahead,
I
because
still
I'm
want
not
to I
picking
still
up
want
on
to
you.
tag on some of the things you
Do
said.
please do, because I'm not.
First of all, if your wife was not also smart, she never would have gotten your attention.
Mhm.
So you might have tapped it, but you would have dumped it.
Mhm.
So because she kind of knew how to work you, and I don't mean that in a bad way.
No, she's very intelligent.
It's like the thing is that she could be coquettish and teasing and treat you like an annoying little brother on one side,
Mhm.
and treat you like you're the most handsome, amazing guy on the next, and treat you like you're a dork on the other side. I mean, it's like she is her authentic self with you,
Mhm.
which is 98% of the reason you fell in love with her,
Mhm.
is because she's always been her. She's always been herself around you, and you can spot a fake from a mile away. Now, here's the other thing about you. You're incredibly intuitive yourself. It's like you can look at someone and know right away if they're full of crap as soon as you meet them.
Mhm.
You also know if somebody is about to feed you a line. You're like that. And as a matter of fact, I would imagine that if we looked at your palm, you probably have the M in your palm,
Mhm.
which indicates magician, mystics, that kind of thing.
Mhm.
Do you have it in your palm?
I don't know. What do
Okay.
you look like?
So, see,
Oh wow.
so I have the M in my palm. Or you can
Okay.
see it. So hold your hand up, relax like this. Actually, you know what you okay?
Double M's.
You have the double, but especially in your right hand, because I will bet you a nickel that when you were growing up, your
Mhm.
parents tried to push you in a different direction than the direction you went in.
Mm-hmm.
But you have the M hand in your right
What
hand.
makes the M? These lines here?
Yeah, you can see here.
Here, draw it for him. It's right here. Go do that again
Relax.
with your hand.
Oh, cool.
Okay,
Oh,
so
I
you have
see.
it.
Oh, interesting.
Right.
Okay. I see.
But what's interesting now, you're right-handed, right?
Yeah.
Okay. With your left hand,
Mhm.
if you look at the line that goes straight up your palm,
Mhm.
that's your fate line. And not only do you have an incredibly long lifeline because it goes all the way around your palm,
Mhm.
but the fate line that goes straight up the middle means that you are following exactly the path your spirit said that it wants you to follow.
Mhm.
You also make pretty good money, but the money goes right through your fingers pretty fast. It's
Mhm.
like you enjoy life. I'll just
Mhm.
say it like that. It's like I'm not leaving any money to anybody.
Mhm.
Okay. But what's interesting is your IQ is, and I'm getting this from your palm, by the
Mhm.
way. People don't know I read palms, but I read
We
palms
do
too.
now, baby
Oh
girl.
man, I
Okay.
need you to look at mine.
Okay, so what you notice about both palms is that you'll see that your lifeline and your headline are intertwined to about an inch into the palm
Uh-huh.
on both hands. That means that you had a hard time pulling away of the expectations of how you were raised.
Mhm.
And but then once you did, clear cut, man, you went right into your own direction. The funny thing is that there have been people all along the way that have helped you get to where you are.
Mhm.
This is, you had the vision, and there were people that agreed with your vision as soon as you actually made the decision to totally step away from the influence of your family. And I think Chris has something to say about that.
Well, that definitely plays into he has all these opportunities that just come to him for his career. And it's because of his tenacity as it relates to his passion and following that. But I wanted to touch on some current transits that are going on for you. There's one, it's a long transit. It's associated with lucky planet Jupiter. It is transiting your first house. It started for you, let's see, maybe about 2 months ago. And it's going to stay there for about another year.
Mhm.
And what it says is that you are going to have so many opportunities come your way, just you being you and like out and about and meeting people. So the next year is going to be full of new beginnings, and they're going to be very lucky and prosperous because it's also connected to money, and it trines up to it. It's positively aspected up to your career house and your career Jupiter. So lots of exciting new beginnings for your career.
Okay, so I'm still stuck on the guy with the money over here. The
The dark-haired,
the dark-haired, dark-eyed guy that's over here that might be a big talker about money, but is not good with money.
Mhm.
Do you recognize him?
Not really.
Okay, so does any of your family members that fit that description have trouble with money that you might be helping?
No. We have a renter that we're having stuff with. So a renter, yeah.
Well, maybe that's who that is. But whoever it is, it's somebody that they can't pay you. I keep getting I can't pay you. I'm sorry, I can't pay you.
Mhm.
To which you might give him a 30-minute karmic break
Mhm.
and say, hey, I'll give you till the end of October, but you got to be out by the end of October.
Mhm.
And I think that that's pretty generous of me.
Mhm.
But, you know, something like that. So,
Sure.
anything you want to ask?
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if I want to ask anything, you know.
So, is this the first time you've ever had a reading done with
Every
anybody?
time, yeah. You know, it's funny, as a magician, I'm like Switzerland. It's really funny. So my wife is on the other side. She understands things like you guys do.
Right.
She sees my dad, who's passed away for 8 years ago, and she sees things like this, and I accept it because it's wonderful, and sees things miles away. And she's had to tone it back a lot because it really affected her life for years because she could see everything. So she just ignored it all because she had to get on with living.
Sure.
But she's been more in tune. Where I'm the opposite. I've since the age of 7 created a career on creating the illusion of knowing everything. And if I go to some cultures, they really do believe I have that power. I don't, but they think I do because of the way I sell something, share it.
Sure. Yeah.
So with me being on this side so far, you know, of creating real miracles, if I want to make them look like, if I go to Africa and do that, they really think I have that power. I don't. I could even tell them I don't. They go, no, you don't. You do. I'm like, I don't. It's a trick. But it's all what you believe in and how you accept it and how you go with it. So it's like Zach Bagan, who sees ghosts. I've talked to him as well, and he believes in 100%. I am neutral. I don't disbelieve them, and I don't believe in them because I have nothing to prove that I'm wrong or right. And I'm
Right.
like, certain people see them and understand things, like you ladies. And I'm like, that's amazing. That's awesome. Whereas I'm not that person to tap into that for some reason. Or maybe I do, I choose to ignore it, you know, but I never say it's not out there. I'm just straight down the middle going, this is amazing. You know, I'd love to see things, hear things, read things and all that. But I think
Yeah.
because of my career, I'm on the showbiz side of recreating things. I can almost recreate anything that somebody gives to me and make it believable, just because that's mine.
So
That's your gift.
I
Yeah.
still think it's a pretty amazing thing that Rainey came up with Piff, because I keep wondering if you guys, and it doesn't matter, we only have a couple thousand people that watch the
Mhm.
show. So even if they knew it was a skit that
Sure.
the two of you were creating, it wouldn't matter because everybody else out there would think it was real.
Sure.
But I actually, there has never been a fake fight
Mhm.
or there's a word
A
for
rivalry.
it. A rivalry. There's never been a rivalry that where you take turns punking each other, that you
Mhm.
both happen to meet magicians. See, and it doesn't matter if you guys both know what you're going to do with each other.
Sure.
With everybody else out there, they're going to think that it's a boatload of fun. So what are they going to do next?
Mhm.
But not only does that give you both more audiences and more attention, but it could be that you show up on each other's shows
Mhm.
and punk each other live on stage
Sure.
with each other.
Mhm.
And now it becomes, now they're both following both of you.
Mhm.
So you guys
Or they're
won't-
waiting for
right, they're waiting
punk
for the next one.
They're hoping for it, right?
Mhm.
I mean, you guys aren't going to be the next Siegfried and Roy.
Mhm.
That ain't going to happen.
Sure.
There was only one
That's right.
couple,
Exactly.
Siegfried and Roy. But if it was the disc with Piff,
Yeah.
and you actually created it, but I think there's a
it
reason.
could honestly be even picked up nationally,
That's what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
It's like then other
like an
magicians,
MTV or
but
something
other
like that, or
magicians
Vice.
might do it with each other,
Mhm.
and it starts
Might
a
catch
thing.
on.
But you patent it
Sure.
because we're not going to do it.
See.
Yeah, but
But yeah, Piff's a dear friend though. He's actually, like I said, we have a big, like I said, thing common with our rescues. He always has his little dog, of course.
oh,
he
I
rescues.
know. Yeah.
And we have a ton of chihuahuas as well. So we've always been on the same level with supporting.
You have
Well,
chihuahuas also.
Yeah, 3
They're-
long-haired chihuahuas and a cat.
They're
yeah.
all little dogs, and they're all
Mhm.
so
All
cute.
long-haired ones. Yeah, my little Mexican mafia.
Ah, that's
Actually, one of
awesome.
them kind of looks like Murray.
Mhm.
Oh my
Spiky hair, little
goodness.
blonde hair,
Oh my
white. Little white dog.
goodness.
Yeah. Yeah,
Anyway.
smudge.
Is your wife associated with something called Bluebell? I keep seeing Bluebell ice cream. Is she from or have lineage from England also?
No, she that was an ex-wife of mine. But my wife now is from upstate New York. But she did dance in Jubilee with the Bluebells, which is actually a dance name. A Bluebell is an actual name of a line, a kick line in a showgirl show.
She's gonna live a very, very long time. She's gonna outlive you.
Well, I hope she does.
Yeah.
'Cause she's younger than me.
Is she good? But I'm seeing, please start, we were talking about finances.
Yeah.
Please start putting some aside so she'll be okay and taken care
Oh,
of.
she's gonna be just fine.
Yeah, I'm sorry. She really, there's a true love there.
Mhm.
But she's also your balance.
Mhm.
She's also your backstop.
Mhm.
And sometimes you don't listen to her. And I say that with love and grace.
Mhm.
But maybe you should a little bit more.
Sure.
It might not be as painful of a fall.
So any questions else you want to ask of us? Because I have to tell you, you've been an absolute delight.
I want to ask you guys a question. Do you think my wife and I will have kids?
None of your cards came up here
Mhm.
as you having kids.
Okay.
None of them came up as kids. But if you were going to get busy, you'd have to
Mhm.
do it in the next 3 months, and it would probably be a little girl.
Interesting.
But you'd have to get busy in the next. I'm getting the next 3 months
Sure.
if
Okay.
you decided to do that. But I
Sure.
get girl if you decide to. See, there's no accidental pregnancy in the cards that I spread for you.
Mm.
It would be very deliberate and planned if you decided to do it. But I get little girl like
Okay.
right away.
Cool. It's really interesting.
She
I'm
really,
gonna-
really wants a child.
Mm.
She really wants her own child.
Mhm.
For some reason, I'm seeing it might be not a biological child.
Mm. Cool. Great.
Go. What are you seeing?
I'm gonna touch on Mona's timing because so your solar return is your specific horoscope from one birthday to the next. So from now until your next birthday, definitely that would be the window to try.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm the next 3 months. Just get busy. If
Mhm.
it happens, it happens. It's funny because I don't know that you two would want to go through like
In vitro.
IVF. I don't
Mhm.
think you guys would want to do that. It's almost like, well, if it's meant to be,
Mhm.
then. But I get a little girl, and by the way, I think she might end up being a fire sign. So she might end up being a Leo if you did end up getting busy around now.
Mhm.
And that this kid would probably end up being a professional athlete.
Mm.
So, and the funny thing is that this little girl would choose both of you, and she would be, she's a bit of a little smart ass.
Mhm.
I mean, she really gives you guys a run for your money, but in a very delightful way, which would be exactly the kind of kid that you'd love to have.
Sure.
So, just saying.
Cool. Very interesting. Thank you.
All right, you guys. All right. Well, Murray, thank you so much for
Thanks
being
for having
our
me here.
first magician
And
and
happy
probably
Halloween to you
one
guys.
of our
Thank
most
you.
famous people on the program. We're so pleased that you were here. All the wonderful luck with Murray's Misfits.
Thank you.
How do people get tickets to your show?
You just go on my website, murraymagic.com. It has all my information from my websites to my TV shows to everything I'm doing. So
Okay, and then how do they follow you on social media?
Murray SawChuck, which is my last name.
Okay.
Saw and Chuck, SawChuck. And you'll see everything there. Give it a Google, it'll all come up. So.
Awesome. Well,
Yeah.
Many
thank
blessings to
Thank
you.
you so
Yeah.
much for being on.
you,
Thank you.
are enlightened. You're gifted, and you have a lot more on your plate coming.
Thank you, ladies.
You've already done it
Bless
the
you.
hard way. There's some big blessing about
Easy,
to happen
easy
for you.
stuff.
So thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, you
Bless
guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you buy those tickets for nightofthewitches.com, which is tomorrow night on October 30th. We can't wait to see you there. Also, remember our live show at thecomposersroom.com. And then if you want to find out more about us or be on the program yourself, go to www.3.vegas, and we'll look forward to seeing you next time. Thanks again, Murray.
Thank you.
Thank you.